You said, do twin flames actually exist? How would you meet them, and what twins that are born? I think twin flames, okay, don't get me started on this tangent. Okay, twin flames, you guys, I talk about this on my threads. Twin flames is you basically uniting with your own masculine and feminine energy within. It never has anything to do with the other person. Because I was thinking about that the other day too. In terms of relationships, even friendships, okay? People are always trying to get their needs met. And that's the other thing. You have to explore what need are you trying to get met through this other person. That's how people get exploited. Because a lot of the time, if you are unaware that you have an unmet need, and someone, let's say, is a narcissist, which they're very good at reading people. This is why I talk about empath and narcissist are pretty much like the same energy. It's just like one's the shadow version and one's the divine version. So it's like the narcissist energy is able to read people to the point where it's like they're able to hook into the needs, okay, that you have, okay, or the wound. I usually call this the wound, but it could be a need, right? So they hook into that and they kind of sprinkle it in there. They feed it. Is it compliments? Is it validation? Is it your fear of being alone? Is it whatever, okay? It's on a huge range, okay? So you have to see what it is, because otherwise people hook into that and then they feed into that. That's what everything is based on, you guys, okay? This whole system. In terms of twin flames, I just find it interesting because they put all this energy on another person. Again, you're giving your power away. Your energy is being siphoned. And actually, the whole issue here is the feminine energy down here on this earth plane, like people who are the feminines in the divine feminine story, rhetoric, are actually like meant to be destructing this energetic structure. Instead, they are in codependency through a thought of an imaginary relationship. I hate to say that, but that's what it is, okay? You're waiting for something that might happen. I hear these stories. It's so wild. Somebody said to me, they're like, oh, I went to this twin flame specialist because they didn't like this psychic that was blunt and told them, like, basically let this go. They went to someone that's a twin flame specialist. And then I'm just curious because I'm just trying to plant seeds because I'm not going to say anything. Like, when someone's in that basic like cloud, the Neptunian cloud, the Neptunian fog, they don't see outside of that. So now they're going to find someone who's going to validate what they believe. They found this like twin flame specialist. And I'm like, okay, is this person with their proverbial twin flame, like, are they together? No. The person's like, oh, they've been separated in separation for 13 years. 13 years? You're wasting 13 years on what? On smoke and mirrors? Like, please, okay? It's time to like get with like the program. If this person wanted to be with you, they would be like, what are you waiting 13 years for? Oh, this happened. You're always making up excuses. So it's like, basically the way that I see the twin flame activation, like people can activate you into your, you know, awakening, your life purpose, you know, but you're meant to come into that energy within. And that's what marriage was supposed to be. Oh my goodness, don't get me started on that tangent. That was also supposed to be a metaphor, okay? In terms of the union of the masculine and feminine energy within, okay? Because we all used to be masculine and feminine energy within balance, and then it got separated, okay, into the polarities. There's a period of time where people were codependent and they needed the other person to operate, and that's because of the way society was. Now we're not in that anymore. So why are people going backwards? I just don't understand. People are lazy. Like, that's just like the shadow energy. Like, they're lazy. They don't want to do the work for themselves. So they want to depend on another person. And then they depend on the other person. And then they're like, you know, upset when the other person is mean to them, rude to them. But like, you're giving all your power away to this person during a time that you don't have to. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't have to put all the energy on the other person. Like, I don't understand, you know? But it's like the delusion, okay, and the illusion that's fed from a young age. Oh, one true love, you're divine. And there's always a word for it, twin flame, divine counterpart. Now they're saying, you know, special person. What is the other one that I heard? Divine person. Like, it's always going to get repackaged because that's the wound. And speaking of getting to the root of the wound. So again, you guys have to explore if you're in this. What is it that you're looking for here? What is the root, okay? If you're looking for this one true love, okay, or true love, maybe you want to be seen. And then why aren't you seen? Because you're hiding. Why are you hiding? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So you have to get to the root. If this is like something that you're looking for, like, why have you given all your energy away to this person? Or sometimes I find it as a form of avoidance from relationships in the physical realm. Like, if people are constantly thinking in their mind and they're like, oh, there's this one true love out there for me, they're not engaging with people in their physical realm and in the physical reality. So it could actually be an entity that's hooking in and feeding this. That's actually what I believe it is at this point in time. Because ultimately what you want to get to is you want to get to the true love within. Like, I think people are looking for their connection to God. Actually, ultimately, like if I'm going to get philosophical on what I actually think it is. So you have to get there yourself first and not put that on another person. As long as you're in the energy where you're putting it on another person, you're giving your power away, and it's never going to be a healthy relationship. My true belief is that it is a siphon on the feminine energy, because the feminine energy is meant to be focusing on destructing this energetic structure down. That's what the feminine energy is meant to be doing. Like, the feminine energy is meant to come into their power, okay, and break down the energetic structure. Instead, everyone is distracted and focusing on another person. You're not meant to focus on the other person. Like, the energetic templates within people are like all backwards and inverted, okay? The way that it should be is the feminine energy needs to be doing the feminine energy work, okay? Whoever is in the feminine, okay? It doesn't really matter what your gender is. And the masculine energy person, or whoever the masculine is meant to be creating this energy to protect, okay? Or like this basic like energy of like a container, basically, for the feminine to be able to do the energetic work that the feminine is meant to be doing down here. The feminine energy is not meant to be chasing the masculine energy. If you're constantly thinking about the person and you're focusing on them and you're annoyed about them and you're upset about them and you're lurking their social media and you're doing this, you are chasing them, okay? And you're not meant to be in that energy. If you're a feminine energy, that's what needs to be purged, okay? Because you are codependent on the idea of something, okay? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. I personally think that it's entities that hook into people's energetic fields, okay? And that's like, when I talk about people being energetically porous, this is another form of it, okay? Because that is a wound or like a soft spot that somebody might have. Like, I understand everybody wants love at the end of the day, but if you're entering into these dynamics where you're putting that on another person, I don't think that that's how it should be. I think the feminine energy needs to be love on their own. Like, everyone needs to be love on their own, okay? And the question is, how do you get there? You have to clear out whatever's going on in the lower chakras. Otherwise, you're entering in these lower chakra dynamics always, where you're putting yourself into a situation where your energy can be siphoned, yes, where your energy can be like basically taken advantage of. It's very shadowy. It's not the way that people explain it. Let me just say that. It's not a physical manifestation, okay? It's like a spiritual concept that people are trying to materialize. So it's like a fourth dimensional way of looking at it. You're taking a spiritual concept and you're trying to materialize it in the physical realm. It's not this. It's like it's all about getting in tune with your energy within, okay? It's more so spiritual. It has nothing to do with like another person or anything of that sort. That's giving your power away. You said create the opposite of the energy of avoiding the abandonment. See, okay, this is before I even got on this tangent. You were saying you should try this with things that you don't want, like relationships. Yeah, so that's the thing. If you're avoiding something, you have to get to the root of why are you avoiding that thing. Do you know what I mean? And it's interesting because that actually relates to what I was saying in terms of people and the concept of twin flames. That's actually a form of avoidance because you're in this imaginary world in the fifth dimension with this person that hasn't materialized it. The way that I see it, you guys, is like, if it's not happening in the physical plane and this person isn't changing in the physical reality, why are you in this situation? Like, that's just what I want to know, okay? Because it's like, otherwise it's something imaginary. It's something that might not even materialize, okay? You're waiting for someone to heal or you're waiting for someone to leave the karmic. Don't get me started. Oh my gosh, do not get me started when people are talking about third-party situations and there's a karmic. Oh, there's a karmic. They need to leave the karmic. Like, where's the self-worth? Like, hello? You're waiting for this person to leave the karmic. Like, go find somebody else. Like, I don't understand. Like, why is that the only person, you know? Like, what is it that was awakened within that you think you can't find within another person? Like, that's what needs to be explored. He said sometimes twin flames or karmic soulmates are exactly, that's all that it is. They're meant to help you evolve and heal your wounds, okay? Whatever the label is, they're meant to help you evolve and come into your power, okay? And so you can maybe potentially be in a healthy relationship in the future. You said it's a spiritual connection. It's meant to trigger you to look within and heal. Exactly. It's like a giant mirror exposing your shadows. Because the more that I learn about astrology, the more that I see when people think somebody's their twin flame or they have this huge connection to the person, there's always Moon Pluto going on, Mars Pluto going on, Venus Neptune. More than anything, I see Mars Pluto, Venus Neptune aspects. And it's usually like Mars Pluto conjunct or just like any really Pluto or A house synastry or even 12 house sometimes. And then the Venus Neptune. Okay, I've seen it a lot with the square in synastry. These people think this is their one true love, you know, and then they don't want to let it go. But really what it is, it's a vortex that sucks you in for shadow work. Because even constantly obsessing over this person is a form of codependency. You don't have to be codependent on someone in the real reality. You can be codependent on a thought or an idea. You said then move on and focus on your growth and happiness. Exactly. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about like the divine masculine. The whole way the divine masculine energy, like even within the self, comes into their power is through the divine feminine coming into their power first. So the feminine energy has to come into their power first, but we are so far from that. Like, we are at like pure degeneracy in this collective. So I'm just like, if you actually see what's happening out here in the streets, you're like, okay, like when people talk about like 5D new earth, I'm like, have you guys looked out the window? Like, have you guys seen what is going on? Like, we are at pure degeneracy. Everything is hypersexualized, and that is nowhere near, okay, the energy where everyone's like, oh, we're gonna go into 5D new earth. Like, that's nowhere near. We are like literally like at the lowest chakras. Like, I know we had the dark ages back in the day, but to me right now, because there's such an attack on the feminine energy in terms of hypersexuality, it's like the feminine energy is just like, first of all, scattered. Second of all, like the feminine energy doesn't even know the role. Do you know what I mean? That's why the feminine energy has to come into their power first, because they don't even know what they're doing, because it's all inverted. So the feminine energy is chasing the masculine, but you're not meant to chase the masculine, okay? The feminine energy has to come into the power, lead the masculine energy into their heart space. But you constantly chasing this person, or, you know, being in these situations where you have no boundaries, or you're like the side person, or you're waiting for the karmic to like lead, you know, your person, all these things, like that is not you being in any divine energy. That's you not having strong self-worth. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what it is. So you have to work on the self-worth, because why would you even want someone who isn't fully available? So that means also, that's another thing to explore. That means part of you is also not emotionally available. So why are you not emotionally available? That's the thing. So it's just like there's so much to explore. You want to come out of the lower chakras, like whatever like triggers you guys, whether it's a person, and that's why I try to stay away from these terms, because I don't think that there's only one person. Like I think there could be a person that triggers you, okay? Kind of like you're going through this like whole spiritual awakening, like yes, they could trigger you, but like you have to explore, like even in terms of relationships, because I have a video on here also under my metaphysical playlist called Love, Dating, and Narcissists, okay? Not narcissists, narcissus, like the Greek mythological character where the person fell in love with their reflection. In terms of relationships, I just feel like, and it's just my own opinion at this point in time, because the thing is, you guys, and I don't know, this might be out there, but I just feel like we have to explore within the collective the narcissism that exists within the human, okay? Because everyone has a little bit of it taking place. So I feel like sometimes relationships are like you trying to get that reflected back to you from another person, because a lot of the time, have you guys ever noticed like how couples look alike, how people are into people who look like them, or sometimes not, because like depends like how they feel about themselves. That's kind of like probably what they're going to be like, let's say, into. Or even like on an energetic level, like people feel like an energetic match. It's like the person is there to validate your existence, okay? And it's like, why do you need this external validation?